This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Black Ember Kompak, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So to kick things off with some external components, this is a 5-liter crossbody bag. You can see that it's pretty low profile, but it does have a fair amount of width, which is what gets it up to that 5-liter capacity. But the exterior material is a Cordura Recore RN66. That's a recycled nylon, so it is better for the environment because it is recycled, and it also has, it's Cordura, so we know what to expect from it. It's very, very durable, and it also is good at repelling water. So this has held up very well. It does, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is some pet hair on there. It does kind of like to kind of grab onto that pet hair and dust, but it cleans off really easily with a lint roller or something like that. So that is a nice feature. Well, actually, I should say a bad feature, but it is nice that it cleans off easily. And overall, I really like the look of this thing. It only comes in black. That is, this is from Black Ember, and pretty much everything they make only comes in black. Then I'll have accents of other colors. But we do have YKK AquaGuard zippers that run around the exterior of the pack here. And then on the inside, there are just regular YKK zippers without the AquaGuard finish. And then we've got Hypalon everywhere on this thing. On these zipper pulls, we've got Hypalon. And another cool feature of these zipper pulls is that they have this little hole here. So you can kind of attach them together by sticking one of them through the other one. And then you can also stick them, both of them, through this piece here. And then you kind of have like a little locked zipper. I'm not going to pull it all the way through because it's kind of hard to get it undone once it's there. But like if you're walking through a city and you don't want or you don't need to get in your bag very often, you can do this to give yourself a little bit of extra security, so nobody can really make their way into your bag easily without like slashing it. So this is a nice little feature, and obviously this Hypalon is very easy to grab onto, and it just feels nice in your hand. Even when it's wet, you can really get in here easily. So all of the hardware on this thing, when it comes to clips and adjusters and stuff like that, is crafted from aluminum. You can see we've got these little G clips here. We've got another G hook over here, and then these metal adjusters, which looks very sleek. I think it's black, and then some of them have the Black Ember logo in different places. I think it looks very nice, and also it's durable and it's not going to break on you, so that's very positive. And then we have this top handle here, which attaches with those hooks, and you can take it off, which is key if you don't want to use it. So when it comes to carrying this thing, we obviously have this included strap, which, like the top handle I just mentioned, is removable. You can just unclip it from the Hypalon tab there. All these receivers here are crafted from Hypalon, which is very durable, as I mentioned with the zipper pulls. So that way, when you have the strap on, it's very durable and it's not going to pop off. But this strap is removable, and it has this padded section up here, which is very like structured. I've been trying to like wear this thing in, but whenever I'm done wearing it, it just basically goes flat again. And if you like set it on like your desk, or if you're at the coffee shop and set it on the table instead of like hanging it, it just kind of sits there like awkwardly and is kind of just like around. But when you're wearing it, obviously it kind of bends like that, and it's pretty comfortable because it does have that padding, but it is just a little bit awkward when, even sometimes when you're wearing it, if you have it really heavy, it kind of like starts to form like a point like that. Overall, I don't love this strap, but it doesn't really affect wearing it so much. It's comfortable and it gets the job done, but when you're not wearing it, it just kind of is in the way, which is nice that it's removable, so you can take it off when you're not using it, and you can either stow it inside here or inside your day pack or wherever else. But when it comes to the back panel, there isn't any padding on here, so whatever you put in this back pocket kind of becomes the back panel. The good thing is that's kind of a spot that you would slide a notebook or a Kindle or even an iPad mini. So that kind of becomes the back panel, and it's flat and it's comfortable, and we haven't noticed anything poking through that to kind of make you uncomfortable. So when it comes to wearing this thing, you can either wear it on your front, or you can go on your side like this, or you can put it on your back like this. I typically prefer to wear things on my back because they're kind of out of my way, but I dug how this sits right here. It's pretty comfortable and gives you quick access to all of your gear. I think this is kind of a good angle to highlight that this top handle is removable, because right now, as you can see, when I'm looking down, it's kind of in the way. depending on where it's resting, it's covering the front zipper or the back zipper. Sometimes it's like right in the middle, so you don't worry about it, but you can take this off so that way it's not in your way when you're like looking down to get into stuff. But overall, I do find this to be very comfortable. And you can see that the strap is very thin. I didn't mention that so much when I was talking about it, but it is pretty thin. So if you really pack this thing out, as I said, it is 5 liters. And if you had a lot of heavy gear in here, it kind of digs in a little bit right here, but you do have that padding. And depending on how tight you have it, like I typically wear my slings tighter, this might rest in a different place, but overall, very happy with the comfort of this thing. So I'm going to now go into the secondary compartments, but before I do that, I'm going to take this strap off just so it is out of the way. These hooks, or clips I should say, are actually pretty easy to work with. The Hypalon can get caught sometimes, and that's not very malleable. So if you get caught, you just kind of have to readjust where you're at and then take it off. But first, I'm gonna go over this front magnetic pocket here. So I have my phone stowed in there right now. This is an iPhone 11, just the standard one, not the larger one. And as you can see, there is a bit of room for it to go left and right in here. So you could, in theory, fit another small item in here, or if you have a larger phone, it should fit in here with no problem, even if you have a case on it. So I'm gonna pull the phone out now, and you can see that there is a Hypalon window here. So this goes into the main compartment, so you can run a cable out of here, so that way you can charge your phone. Like if you have a portable battery bank inside of there, you can run that cable out, and then it sits in either of these 2 eyes, and then you can charge your phone while you're on the go, and you don't have to worry about cables anywhere, or like your phone in your pocket with a cable running out of your pocket. That's always a little bit annoying. And these magnets are very sturdy, and they're always kind of clamped down. No matter really how you have it, it's gonna clamp back down. So that means that this window is covered with this Cordura, so that way you don't have to worry about water getting inside. In theory, there are holes here, so if it was really raining, the water could sneak inside there. But if it's really raining that hard, you're gonna worry about the Cordura seeping through at some point. Obviously in light rain, it's going to be okay. But if it's downpouring, I wouldn't worry so much about water getting through there as I would worry about it just kind of seeping through the fabric eventually. But nice pocket to throw your phone in and be able to charge it while you're on the go, so you don't have to worry about, you know, losing battery and not being able to use your phone. Moving to the back side here, went over this pocket a little bit when I was talking about the back panel. Fold this down so you can kind of see. We have 2 pockets in here. This one on the back side is perfect for, this is just a Kindle in here, and you could also use this for an iPad mini. We don't have a mini on hand, but Black Ember says that that will fit, and I've seen others online say that as well. So it's nice that we have a separate section for that, and you could also stow your passport back here because it is closest to you. I didn't opt to stow my passport in here just because I think there's a better spot inside, but if you're someone who likes to kind of feel your passport at all times, you could throw it in this mesh pocket here on the back. Pull that out so you can see a little bit more of the pocket. See, it goes all the way down here to the bottom, so you have quite a bit of room for gear here. And this is like a stretchy mesh material on the back one, so you can fit. It's kind of a weird inclusion for me, the stretchy mesh, because obviously you want to put flatter items here. So I don't know what purpose the stretchy mesh has, but it doesn't get in the way. It feels nice and offers a little bit of protection if you have like a screen or something like that. And then this is a little bit stretchy as well, and you can see through this one, so you can kind of see what's in there. And if you had like your iPad on there and you have service on your iPad, you could look at the notifications or whatever. But something to note is if you do stick a tablet or a device inside here, there isn't very much padding on this back panel. So if you were wearing the crossbody and kind of swung it around, there isn't a ton of padding and you could crack the screen. Obviously that didn't happen to me, otherwise I'd be reporting that, but I think it is something that's to think about if you don't have a case on your iPad, your Kindle, or even if you could stow your phone back here as well if you have a bigger phone. But this is a nice inclusion, I think, and really adds to the segmentation of this pack. We obviously have 3 different compartments. We went over the front one here and the back one just now, and now let's get into the main compartment. So the main compartment does open with a clamshell opening, and as you can see, there are 2 zippers. So wherever you want to like leave the zippers in their home position, you can leave them on the top or the bottom, and whichever place you choose to leave them, they have that little Hypalon security feature, so you can lock them whether it's on the top or the bottom. But moving inside the main compartment, as you can see here, there's lots of depth on this side. So even if you use all of this internal organization and you still want to stow a few extra goodies in here, you can stack this camera inside of here or whatever you want to stack inside. That's a nice inclusion because sometimes you want to be able to stow more than the internal organization allows you to, and this bit of depth enables you to do that. So pull this camera out so we can go over some of this organization. So on this side, we have this matte grayish silver, which is nice because you can see most of your gear unless it is that same color. Then it's going to blend in. But on this back liner pocket, so this goes all the way down to the bottom. You can see my hand poking out kind of down at the bottom there. And this is a good spot to stow your battery bank and other like items. The main reason for that is because that is where the window is. So I've just got this Nightcore battery bank stowed in there right now. So I can slide this in here, plug a cable into the top there, not sure why you can see that, and then run it through this window. And this window just peeks out through that magnetic pocket we went over earlier. So I've tried this with small and larger battery banks, and they all worked really well. The only time that they have an issue is if your battery bank is like one of those tall, skinny ones, like some that Anker makes. If it is tall enough, like if it's taller than like where that window opens and the bottom here, it struggles to work because you need to have enough space for your battery bank and then to plug in and then for it to go through the window. So if you want to travel with one of those, it does get a little bit more complicated. You can make it work by putting the battery bank over here or putting it in at an angle, but that's just something I think is important to know. And then this pocket in front of it here, I just have an Anker cable for charging my phone. I actually while I was testing this, I had 3 different cables in here. That was kind of like my cable pouch where I had them just running vertically. I had 3 different Anker cables, one here, and one here, and it handled it very well, especially if you use something like a Velcro cable tie or Anker cables. Come with these little hook and loop fasteners. Moving even further down, we have this pen pocket here. As you can see, it's not very deep, so these pens, they don't like hit the clip. So I'm not sure if this is actually for pens, but it works for pens. I had no issues with them popping out or anything like that. You could also throw a stylus here, or even like some lip balm or something like that. You could throw it inside that pocket. And then over here, we've got this magnetic key clip. This just pops off. You can attach your keys to that, and then when you get home or to the Airbnb hotel, you can open the door, but then put it back and it just claps on like that. This is also, snap that off. You can use this with their magnetic key leash that they sell separately. So if you have any of those products, this integrates with that. So you can have this here and attach it and then stick it onto your magnetic key leash as well. And just nice to see some dual use between those products. And if you don't want to use this pocket for your keys, you can snap this off. This does take up a bit of space, but you can hide it in there, and then you could stuff like your wallet in there, or you just have another space for any extra gear that you want to stuff in there. But moving on over to this side, we do have this Hypalon. I've just been kind of calling it a wallet because that's what it's for. It's for cards. You could stow cash in there. So you could go walletless if you'd like to. Everything can just go inside of the Kompak here. So you can also put cash in there. Cash does tend to kind of get a little bit lost, but as long as you put it in the front or the back, it's not a huge issue. Then we have these 2 liner pockets on the back side here. I've got a Write in the Rain notebook here. You can see that isn't a huge notebook, and to illustrate that this top pocket ends, this actually doesn't fit inside of here. So this pocket is actually taller, so you can fit taller items in this front pocket. And then this one is like a smaller pocket, which you could put another notebook in or just something smaller than this notebook is. And then on the back wall here, we have the only zippered compartment, and I actually stowed, this is where I would stow a passport. It's just a notebook that is passport size, but it's nice to have a little bit of extra security. You'd have to go through 2 zippers. This is a YKK zipper, Hypalon pull again, and it just has all the stuff on top of it, so it's harder for someone to get to your passport if that's what they're after. In this back pocket here, it'd just be 1 zipper, but it just feels a little bit more secure in there because it's on top of all of this awesome organization that Black Ember has put inside this crossbody. So there you have it, the Black Ember Kompak. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.